Woohoo! Well, building a house on your own when you've never built a house is not easy. But building a house on your own and holding down a full-time job and just doing it in the evenings when it rains every day is that much harder. But we have 4 walls and rafters. And it's time to get this thing ready for some roofing. I have been scrambling and working as hard as I can and even working in the rainstorms so that I can get this thing covered up and protected from the weather. My family can't wait to get moved into this new house. And the rest of my family can't wait to take over our old house. So, that means I've got to get to work. I've got lots left to do, and it's gonna take a while. I hope you guys will join us and follow along as we build.
I'm gonna move to the old house, and I'm gonna like this better.
You think? So I have something exciting to share with you guys. Now guys, today's video is brought to you by Mechmax. It all started with our Mechmax SM26 sawmill, which we soon upgraded to a 32-inch sawmill, and now we've got wood chippers and stump grinders and backhoes and all kinds of awesome attachments and implements and machinery from Mechmax. And you can get yours by going to mechmax.com. And when you decide what you want to buy, you can save 5% on your purchase by using code Lucas, 5% off on the final checkout page. So we want to thank Mechmax for being a supporter of our channel for over a year now. I mentioned getting a new tool on the last video, but it didn't come in time to show it. So, today, I get to use this. This is a Metabo HPT brushless, lightweight frame and nailer. I have not shot any nails with it yet, but I can't wait to. Now, the last like 18 rafters I put up, I put 1 screw in each end to hold it in place because my pass load nailer quit. So we're gonna go down through here, we're gonna nail them all with this, and we are putting on our rafter ties. And these will of course help the rafters stay in place. Should we get heavy winds, they won't lift off. Yeah, so I've got a lot of little tedious work and nailing and stuff to do today. I also have to build my fly rafters off the end so that I have overhang on the end of the house. I don't know if I'll get to all that today, but that's kind of the things that have to be buttoned up before I can start decking this. I may need to figure out my fascia and get it put on too. That way my decking can go over all of it and we'll be all set. So that's the plan today. Let's get to work. Moment of truth. How's this thing work? It's got a lock on it. Turn the lock off. Power on. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is the berries. My biggest complaint about the pass load was that the ends of my nail guide were wore out, and so you couldn't get any grip on the boards, and I've tried to sharpen them and everything else, but I just wasn't doing any good with that. This grip's amazing, and it drives the nails all the way in, and for some reason it's not splitting the boards like the pass load seemed to want to always do. I guess that's why I have these on my head. Yep, absolute game changer, man. So far, the only thing I don't care for on it is there's no belt clip, and I use the belt clip a lot, but I'll figure out a new way, I guess. Man, I should have bought this at the beginning of the build. That's incredible. If there is one machine of mine that Caden is always dying to run, it's the mini skid steer. So I put him on job site cleanup where I've cut all the rafters. I've got like 4 piles of scraps around. I told him he could get the mini skid steer with the bucket and go around and gather all those up and pile them on the burn pile. So he was all about that. So today is kind of just my miscellaneous cleanup day and going around and looking for little things that maybe I didn't get quite right or needs a little more blocking. I remember seeing that I missed a cripple stud somewhere here. Yeah, I think maybe I mismeasured above that window up top, and you can see my cripple stud is over to the left, and there's a space there wider than 16 inches that the rafter's sitting on. So I need a cripple stud there, and so that's the kind of thing I'm looking for, just little things that I missed, put more nails in the things that need more nails, and I'm putting my rafter ties on. And I wanted to know how difficult it was going to be to do the cutouts for the fly rafter and build it that way, because I've never built that way. And it's actually very simple. I'm like everybody else. I get on YouTube and look at different ways to do things and figure out what seems to fit my skill level and go from there. And I saw that method and I thought that looks really strong, but it looks like something I can do. So that's the route I'm going with, and I like it. So I got to go on down through here, finish nailing rafters and putting rafter ties on. And yeah, this is going to be more than a today project, because I have 80 rafter ties to put on, 40 on each side, and that's going to take some time. There's a lot of nails go in those rafter ties, and but we'll get there. We'll get there. What I would like to do is be sheeting this by mid next week to next weekend. We'll see how that goes. Whew. This is a lot of fun. It really is. I'm having a blast. All right, well, we put in a pretty good day of it, didn't we? We got hurricane ties across the whole front wall. I got freeze plugs, that's what I'm calling them. Freeze plugs put in, not quite half of it, but I ran out of scrap Tuba-10s, so I got to pick up some more Tuba-10s to finish those. And kind of figured out my process for building my fly rafters and overhang. And yeah, we're well on our way. This was a fun day, just kind of cleaning up some stuff. Caden worked on cleaning up the floor for me, and you can see, I mean, we're starting to get a little bit of weather. There's a few places where like the top flakes of the Advantech are starting to roll up, so I'm running out of time, but we'll get it. We'll get it, and it's looking good. I'm gonna take you out here and give you a total overview. So when I ordered my doors and windows, I actually changed the design after I ordered them, because I was going to put 4 windows above the porch, and I figured out that the layout wasn't going to work right for me to center those windows in the bedrooms the way that I wanted. So I decided to add one more. That way I could space them out evenly across the front, but they would also fall in the center of the bedrooms and stuff. So I'm happy with that. We got some progress now. It's looking good. All right, another week, another day on the house build. And tonight I am putting on more rafter ties. I got the whole back wall to work on. But while brainstorming this weekend about the progress we've made, the things that we've done, I got to thinking about these freeze plugs, as I'm calling them. And I've made a little bit of a mistake, and I'm glad I didn't get any further than I did. With a cathedral ceiling, you have to insulate a little bit differently because you don't have an attic space. And you don't want to create a situation where you have condensation and create mold. And I've read a lot about that and how to go about insulating at the cathedral ceiling. And I had a game plan, but I forgot about it when I started putting those plugs in. And I made them go all the way to the top to block off the airflow. But I need an air gap of, you know, 1.5 inches or so in each one of these cavities, because I'm going to put baffles in the top of these rafter runs and then insulate. That way you have soffit material that vents from the bottom, and air will flow through and vent out the top of the soffit on the front side, kind of like to a ridge vent on a normal house roof. That will give us airflow so that you don't have condensation build up on the underside of the roof decking, and you don't have mold in your insulation and all of that. So what I'm going to have to do is either take these plugs out or cut notches in them to allow air to flow through them. And then all the rest of them that I put in, I have to leave a gap for airflow. Now, if you have more expertise in that area and you want to share ideas, feel free, because I probably have a couple of weeks before I reach that point where I've made my entire decision on the roofing and all of that. But what my plan is on the inside, I will have baffles, and then I will have batt insulation, and then I will be putting a probably tongue and groove wood on the ceiling after that. And I think that will work great on the inside. On the outside, I will have OSB roof decking, and I will put some type of roofing underlayment down, and then my metal on top of that. Now, I have also considered other, like Attic Foil makes a product that is a foil insulation that is a radiant barrier, but you have to put that on and then put furring strips before you put your metal on to create an air gap. And I think that would probably be the most efficient method to insulate a roof that's going to be a cathedral ceiling, but also added expense for the foil insulation barrier and the 1/2-inch furring strips that I would need. So I don't know that I'm going to go that route. I'm still in the brainstorming phase of that. Let me know if you have experience with that. Tell me what you think. Well, that's something you don't see to come through here every day. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, and I'm not doing good about wearing them all the time, but I have tried to convert to these polyester, breathable, moisture wicking type shirts that block the sun. I had some made with our channel branding on them, and I'm trying to do better about protecting myself from the sun, because I have gotten a lot of sun this year and my arms are getting really dark and I don't want skin cancer. So I'm trying to do better. I'm not used to these. I don't like sleeves on my arms, but I'm trying to get used to them. So far, they're pretty comfortable, really. They're not too bad, but it just takes a little bit of getting used to. This is special delivery. Jana's home from the shop with energy. What flavor I get?
Green apple and cherry.
Green apple and cherry.
I don't know if it goes good together or not, but I thought we'd try it.
Sounds pretty good. Love you.
Brother,
Brother, You ready to get to work, son? You still have your buck flops on?
Yeah. No, he put on his good tennis shoes. Yeah,
oh, that's good. We should be able to keep him pretty clean. All right, back to work.
He's out.
What do you think, man?
Nothing.
Have a good day?
I have to go back down and get my
Guys, yeah, you know I don't use bad words. But when you smash your fingers with the hammer, like just full force hit right to the fingernail, it tests your ability to come up with the right way to express yourself. Because that hurt really bad. I'll be down to 9 fingernails after a bit. All right, all 40 rafter ties are put on. Now I need some supplies. I could go ahead and start working on the fly rafter, but you know, Caden comes and works with me, and most of the time that he's here working with me, he's begging me to go fishing. I've never been one to stand up to peer pressure, so I'm giving in, and we're going fishing. So I will get back on this tomorrow, or I'll make a supply run. Got to get some more 2x10s, and that way I might even just get 2x8s. That way I don't have to cut them height-wise, and I'll have my air gap there. That's probably what I'll do. Do 2x8s for blocking on all these, and that way I'll have my air gap. Yeah, hopefully this weekend we'll be putting some decking on this, getting things covered up. That's right, hopefully. Once we start getting OSB on the walls, then we'll start to get some rigidity to the structure.
What is rigidity?
Rigidity, it means that when you do this, it doesn't go.
When you do this?
Quit. So, like, see,
this?
look, watch the front wall. I can kind of get the building to shake just a little bit, but nobody wants their house to shake like that. And that's why you need siding on the walls. Rigidity, that's right.
Rigidity.
Because when you put all those siding boards on here and you nail them together, it's like a whole bunch of these braces that ties it all together.
Yeah,
and then
but aren't they weak?
once we put,
You put them right here.
Nah, they're tough.
And then you nail into them and they're soft.
But it's not, it's strong. And then you put walls inside here and that starts tying it all together.
For rigidity.
For rigidity. And then you start to have a pretty solid house. And it's coming together, and I don't think it's gonna fly away now. So,
yay!
I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning. Well, yesterday we got all our blocks cut. Today I'm gonna start hanging them. I don't have a lot of time because it's Wednesday night, we got church tonight, and yeah, so I'll have to go down and get cleaned up. But I'm gonna climb up there and get started, see what I can get done. All right, guys, I got all my freeze plugs put in across the front. I was using 2x8s to leave a 2-inch gap above them, or close to it, for my baffles to go out. But now I had put 2x10s in these last like 10 holes here. So what I did for those, instead of taking them out and replacing them, I just cut out a 2-inch section, the size of what the baffles will be feeding into, and that'll give me my airflow pocket for these. So I got plugs to put in all along the back, and then we will be ready to build our overhang and start putting on our roof decking. Caden's making fun of me because I can barely form words. I'm tired and hot.
Last time he couldn't either.
Yeah.
Rigidity.
Well, good morning. We are up here on a Thursday morning because, you know, it's a pain when you order things and have to have them delivered. I ordered doors and windows like 6 weeks ago, and they called me yesterday and said, we'll text you later this evening with a 4-hour window that we'll be delivering tomorrow. Which is great if you have a job, because, you know, it's not like employers want notice when you take off work. And then the 4-hour window is texted to me, and it's 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. right dead smack in the middle of the day. That's about as bad of service as you could get for that type of thing. I decided to just go ahead and take the whole day off, come up here, and I can work and beat the heat this morning, so I'm not totally upset about it. So I used my new Metabo, however you say that, framing nailer, I was able to put these blocks in, 40 of them on the front wall, 40 of them on the back wall, 3 nails a piece. So that'd be 80, 86, 200, 240 plus nails, and I used half of the battery. I'm pretty impressed by that. You don't have to have gas canisters and a battery, and that was what I ran into with the pass load, is it was getting to where it was misfiring and making it hard to shoot nails. You'd have yourself in a bind and need it to shoot a nail, and then it wouldn't shoot, and when you're working alone, you can't have that. So rather than spend more money on more gas canisters and I just decided to go ahead and upgrade nailers, and I'm really, really glad that I did. So it's actually got, so you turn the power on, and then it's got 2 different settings right here. One where you press this in and fire, or it's got another mode, which is, you know, kind of your fast nailing mode, which I never use, but you know, real framers probably use it a lot. You pull the trigger in, and then it will fire as many times as you press it, and it says it will fire 3 nails per second. So that's pretty fast, faster than I can move and be accurate. I am not doing this for speed and productivity. I am doing this to have a nice house to live in, so I take my time. So I run single nail mode, and even then, because I'm not real good at this, I misfire some, shoot them out the side. So I've got to take my time. It's pretty heavy. It weighs probably about the same as the pass load as far as the feel goes. And after putting in 40 of those last night on the front and putting in 40 this morning, my forearms are burning. My arms are sore. Maybe that says more about me than it does the nailer, but that's about the only downfall of it. Everything else about it I like. It's a good nailer, and I'm really glad I bought it. All right, so we got all the blocks in, and I finally took down my braces that I put across the front wall to lift the walls up, just because I finally wanted to get them.
I got a little snack.
I wanted to, for you to finally be able to see the whole front face of the house. And so I had Caden lift me up in the basket, and we didn't show that because, yeah, people like to complain when little kids run tractors, and especially when they have their dad 9 feet in the air in a bucket. But yeah, so we got that done, and now I got to pause and go get some tools like an air compressor and some tire plugs, because we got an issue. I'm gonna say it's Caden's fault. There's a little bit of wasted work in this. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this out with a complete overhang on this end, but when I get the house finished, when we move in, we get settled in, probably late next year, I'm gonna be adding a garage onto the end of this, going out that direction. And it'll go about halfway down this wall, which means that overhang will come off at that point when we attach the next structure to this. But I kind of wanted to just finish it out and have it all finished out looking nice when we get done. And I'll worry about the rest at the end. Yeah, look at this. I think I hung that last one crooked. I'm gonna have to straighten it out just a little bit. But otherwise, the overhang's pretty consistent. I think it's gonna work. I poured it down my back. It did feel good. guys. Man, I'll tell you what, today was a hard day. It is hot. But I got both sides of the fly rafters notched in.
Why are you out in the sun, dude? It's too hot out there.
And I'm ready for fascia board. And I see a problem. I used a board that has an angle cut.
Dude, why are you out there? It's too hot out there.
Hey, Caden.
What?
I think I gotta change one out.
Blurger!
I gotta change one out
Blurger.
because we messed it up. I cut a board that's got an angle cut on the end of it. Y'all see it there?
Are you kidding me?
Nope. So we're almost done. All right, I cut me a replacement. I took that one out and I nailed a new one in. So now we're done. So as I was saying, today was a hard day. But we got all of our fly-in overhangs cut and put on both ends. We got the bracing took off of the front here, so it actually looks like what we want it to look like now in terms of framing. And we got all the blocks put in along the back wall. So I got fascia to put on, and then we're gonna be ready to deck this. So guys, I think I'm gonna call it quits on this video, and we'll pick up in the next video putting on our fascia and starting with our OSB decking. And we've got some exciting things coming, some products we're gonna use on this to make it a little more energy efficient and all that. And
Fascia what?
fascia fears.
Fascia mom.
Fascia fears. You don't want fascia mom. Depends on how you've been behaving. All right, guys. Well, listen. Hope you enjoyed today's video, seeing the progress on the house build. Caden, thanks for the hard work. It was a tough day.
Thanks for the playing on video games.
Yeah, I let him play on his phone some today, sit in the shade, cool off as much as we could. But he still was a big help. Brought me water and Powerade and cut boards and tools. It's such a huge help to have a hand around. Guys, until next time, get outside and enjoy God's creation because it's beautiful out here. Y'all have a good day.